Mr. Ricky Wilde. Welcome. You can stay here. You can stay here. Welcome back on stage. I heard you would like to have a nice glass of red wine. Ich habe gehört, ihr würdet gerne ein Schlückchen Rotwein trinken. I'm gonna translate a little bit back and forth so people understand. Ich übersetze jetzt ein bisschen hier und zurück ins Schweizerdeutsch. Der Matthias Käslin vom Hotel Schweizerhof hat ein ganz feines Schlückchen. Matthias, was trinken die beiden Wildes?
Aus dem Costas del Segre, ein Aleges, wo wir gestern an der Hoteleröffnung geniessen durften im Hotel Schweizerhof.
You want to try? Who wants to try? Wer will probieren? You give it a go. Okay. Cheers! 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 Cheers!
Cheers, everyone! Thank you very much. Cheers, Paul.
Cheers, everyone! Cheers! Cheers! So, Ricky and Kim Wilde, thank you so much for coming to Switzerland. Thank you so much for coming to the Retro Festival. Danke, dass ihr in die Schweiz gekommen seid und danke, dass ihr als der dritte Retro Festival gekommen seid. It was a great show, it was great energy and your songs they sound better than ever. Eure Songs tönen noch besser als damals, mit viel Energie hast du schon gesehen, oder? Jetzt Abend. Wahnsinn, yeah. And now I was wondering, since your brother and sister and you're on stage, how many years, wie viele Jahre sind ihr schon zusammen auf der Bühne? How many years are you together on stage now?
Well, you know, Kids in America was 1981, so it's however long that is, 100 years. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Ricky and I, obviously we grew up together, we love the same kind of music. We grew up in the 60s, which is arguably probably one of the most exciting decades of music.
Sie haben die gleichen Songs gehört, sind in den 60er Jahren aufgewachsen und die 60er Jahre sind wahrscheinlich die spannendste Zeit musikalisch gewesen.
And we just love pop music and we love rock and roll, but we loved pop music and we still really do love pop music.
Sie lieben Popmusik eigentlich über alles.
We have a lot of fun, yeah.
Now, you wrote Ricky, you wrote all the songs since the beginning for Kim Wilde, with Kim Wilde.
Yeah,
when you look at these great covers we have here, you can look here. Wenn ihr all die Covers anschaut, some of the albums you did, I couldn't fit all on the screen. Ich konnte nicht alle auf den Schirm tun. What goes through your mind when you see those nice covers through the years? Was geht durch den Gedanken, wenn ihr jetzt all die schönen Covers seht?
My first thought is there's not enough pictures of Ricky on there.
Der Ricky ist noch nicht drauf auf diesen Bildern, das stimmt.
There's a lot of great memories. I mean, you know, all those tracks, I remember pretty much every moment of making them, and I loved it. And, you know, there's a lot of work that went into it, but at the time you didn't really think about it. It was just coming up with the next track and coming up, and you just did it.
Schöne Erinnerungen, die ihm in den Sinn kommen, wenn er das sieht, und vor allem einfach Song für Song geschrieben und jetzt sind sie einfach irgendwie reingekommen.
You know, Ricky was only 18 when he wrote Kids in America, so...
Er war 18 Jahre alt, als er Kids in America geschrieben hat. Kim, now you just finished a great tour called Rock Meets Classic. Du bist gerade auf einer Tournee, die Rock Meets Classic heißt, and you sang with Alice Cooper. Du hast mit Alice Cooper gesungen. We heard the song tonight, first time.
Yeah.
Wir haben den Song jetzt das erste Mal gehört. Wow, how was it with him on stage?
It was one of the highlights of my career. I've toured with Michael Jackson and David Bowie and Status Quo and some really amazing people, but for me the most incredible experience was standing next to Alice Cooper singing Schools Out. That was just great.
Sie ist mit vielen Leuten unterwegs, mit dem Michael Jackson, wir kommen nachher noch dazu, mit dem David Bowie, aber etwas vom Genialsten ist, mit dem Alice Cooper auf der Bühne ist. Und wir sehen hier ein großartiges Foto. We see a shooter from this picture, and behind there's a guy hiding.
Haha, Mick Box!
Yeah, he was here. They were here last year.
From Uriah
Da
Heep.
versteckt sich einer von Uriah Heep. Die sind letztes Jahr da gewesen.
Oh, he's great, Mick Box. Because you had Uriah Heep here, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing show.
Yeah. Oh, there they all
So
are.
it looks like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, we had a great time.
Sie haben richtig viel Spaß gehabt.
It was a lot of fun.
Your band is in the house. Eure Band ist auch im Zimmer. Genau, where are they? Here.
That's my
here,
daughter.
there. Oh,
It's my daughter. Yeah, come up, Scarlett. Come up.
sie ist ihm seine
Ladies and
Tochter.
gentlemen, Scarlett Wilde. Come on.
Scarlett.
Come on.
Tante Kim und der Papi Rick.
This is my daughter Scarlett, and she does all the backing vocals with us, and has done for the last couple of years or so. And and I know there's a few words that she'd like to say.
Sie ist seine Tochter und sie sind Backing Vocals auf der Tour. How long is she with you on tour? Wie lange ist sie schon mit euch auf
Well,
Tournee?
Scarlett's been working with us for years. 6 years.
Sie sind 6 Jahre auf Tournee.
And yeah, and she's not only is she a great singer with great legs, but she's a fantastic songwriter.
Sie ist eine geniale Sängerin mit sexy Beinen. Ja, so ist das, ja. So, when you retire, is the plan to produce this lovely young lady and you can go back and enjoy, you know, your days, and then she is working off her sexy legs on stage and goes on tour. Wenn ihr pensioniert sind, I think you will never retire, right? Wenn ihr pensioniert sind, dann schreibt ihr Songs. I mean, you used to write songs together. I had a great picture of you in the studio in the early days. I have a picture of you now on stage. Großartige Bilder damals im Studio, heute noch auf der Bühne. Is there a certain trust, a certain friendship, family feeling on stage when you are performing? Could you close your eyes and you know your brother is there and you know your sister does a great job? Gibt es so etwas wie ein blindes Vertrauen auf der Bühne unter Geschwistern? How does it feel?
Well, for me, I just know that with the whole band we have, the drummer, the bass player, the guitarist, just all of us, we all know what we're doing, and we don't even have to sort of look back or worry about anything. And Kimmy's doing what she does, Scarlett does, and so we just do what we do and get in the zone and love it, you know.
Sie müssen sich um gar nichts Sorgen machen. Wenn sie auf der Bühne sind, dann läuft das, ein blindes Vertrauen, und die wissen ganz genau, was sie zu tun haben. Now, you are a very successful family. And as I prepared myself for tonight, for this talk, I found so much stuff on the internet. And your dad, actually, your granddad, euer Großvater, der Vater von ihnen zwei, ist selber schon eine ganz berühmte Persönlichkeit gewesen, Marty Wilde. And who's that little girl? Wer ist das kleine Mädchen, das bei ihm sitzt?
I love that photograph.
That was your dad.
So
Is your
sweet.
dad?
That is isn't that so sweet? That's me, yeah.
My dad, he's 74 years of age.
75.
75, is it?
Yeah.
75, yes.
75 ist der Vater.
He's 75, and he's got a tour this year, and he's doing 80 dates at the age of 74, and he's still rocking out, and he's 75, yeah.
So Marty Wilde.
75, and he's still rocking out, but he's doing 80 dates. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Der Marty Wilde macht eine Tour
at
das
that
Jahr
age.
mit 80 Spieldaten. 80, und how your dad sounds, if people don't know, that's how he sounded and looked.
Breaks my heart, 'cause I'm so afraid that we will have to part. Each night I ask the stars, why must I be a teenager in love?
wenn man so viele musikalische Vibes in die Wiege gelegt bekommt, dann muss man fast explodieren als Kind von so einem talentierten Vater. If you got so many musical vibes as a child, you must explode from creativity, from writing songs and become a star yourself. And you were a star. And probably a lot of people don't know, but der Rick ist ein richtiger Star gewesen, als er jung war. I mean,
Yeah, that's me.
my daughter would fall in love with you if you would live now. How old are you on this picture? Wie alt bist du auf dem
I was
Bild?
about 11.
That's my daughter's age.
Yeah.
Pity,
Yeah.
deine Tochter ist 11, die werden doch ein Traumpaar zusammen. And
Yeah.
you had a great chart hit as well.
Yeah, well, I had a number 1 in Sweden
Hat er Nummer 1 Hit gehabt in Schweden.
with a track called I Am an Astronaut.
I am an astronaut. I am an astronaut. Daddy's away and mum's asleep. I am an astronaut.
Well, yeah, okay, a little story here. A while ago, my daughter said that she bought for me a tattoo. And it's, I don't
Said
need
them as
I've got
tattoo
enough
shanked.
tattoos, I don't need any more tattoos. And she said, no, I've got an idea, why don't we have a tattoo of the logo that was on the front of the single
habe
of
gesagt,
I Am an Astronaut.
Ich brauche kein Tattoo. Und die Tochter gesagt, weißt du was, ich habe eine super Idee. Lass uns doch ein Tattoo machen mit dem Cover von dem Song I Am an Astronaut, ich bin ein Astronaut.
So we had the tattoo done at the same time, and it was a little bit of history there, mate. That was a lot of fun, yeah.
Did it hurt? Come on, be honest. Did it hurt? Hat es ein bisschen weh gemacht? A little bit? No.
We've all got tattoos, they don't hurt.
It's good pain.
They're rock hard, we love tattoos. Don't ask me where mine is. Hey! Hey!
Wait, okay. When I was 18 years old, when ich 18 war, in 1988, I was at my hero's concert, Michael Jackson, the Bad Tour, and I saw you there opening for Michael, and I never thought I'm going to stand next to you. I am really, really flattered, honored, and I just want to know something for my personal life in the future, because I will not let you leave. How was it to be on stage or open for a stage, meet a legend like this, Michael Jackson? What pops up to your mind when you think about the time you spent on tour?
Well, you know, it was an amazing time. My album Close was out and we had some big songs on that. Actually, we sung quite a few of them tonight on stage, and it was one of the peaks of my whole career, and it was the peak, I would say, arguably, of Michael's career. He was on fire, and watching him on stage every night was a huge privilege, and I can only say good things about him. He gets a lot of bad press, but to me, he's the king of pop.
Also für sie ist es, was Bas gesagt hat, der King of Pop, es war unglaublich gewesen, auf der Bühne zu sehen, so eine Perfektion. Alles live, früher hat er noch 3 Stunden am Stück gespielt und es war einfach wahnsinnig gewesen, beeindruckend in so grossen Stadien zu spielen. And I found this picture and maybe you can tell us a little bit what occasion that was. Ich habe das Bild gefunden und vielleicht könnt ihr mir sagen, was ist es für eine Gelegenheit? Paul McCartney is there, Michael Jackson is there, you of course. What was the occasion? Was haben ihr da gemacht?
That was in 1983, and it was the British Award. It was
1983 British Awards.
Yeah. The Brits, you know. Anyway, it was, I got it. I got it for being, you know, for being a good pop star, and I was really unexpected. It was a very unexpected award. It was one of the most electric nights of my life, which I shared with Ricky Wilde.
It's weird because they never told us that obviously the Kim that had won.
Es war eine Überraschung, sie hat gar nicht gewusst, dass sie nominiert wird sein und wird gewinnen in 1983 für das beste Pop-Album von dieser Zeit.
and we arrived at the awards ceremony thinking it was just going to be really good fun and nice. And
Sag mal, sie sagen nur als Gäste eingeladen.
and so we sat at our table,
Sind am Tisch gesessen.
and I was sitting next to Sting from the Police, and it was kind of like a little bit freaky because he was one of my heroes at the time, and both Kim and I were like chatting with Sting and thinking that
Sie
this is
sind
made
neben
our
Sting
night.
am Tisch gesessen und sie sind total Fans von Police und vom Sting gewesen.
And so for us, that was like the highlight of the evening until the Angela Rippon, who in England is quite a famous kind of presenter, and she came on stage and she said, and the winner is Kim Wilde. I went, what?
Also für sie ist schon
Honestly,
das
we were totally gobsmacked. We could not believe it. It was like, oh my God. And
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And I went past Paul McCartney, and he was sat next to Linda McCartney, and they were very sweet. They said, "Oh, well done, love. That's great. Well done." And,
super gewesen, super gemacht.
well done.
proper mental.
And Pete Townsend there, of course, he's been a very important person in my life. Of course, The Who wrote Tommy, and I was in Tommy the Musical in London in '96. And that was the year that changed my life, because that's when I met my husband, and I got married within 6 months of meeting him while I did Tommy. So these people all ended up being... Oh, sorry, yeah.
Ist okay. Ist okay. Ich habe noch nie so viel übersetzt wie heute Abend, aber es geht. Would you like to say something in Swiss German? Grüezi miteinander. Grüezi miteinander.
Grüezi miteinander.
Ja, super. Also, du hast auch zurückspulen, an dieser Awardverleihung hat sie eigentlich schon gedacht, das Highlight ist, mit dem Sting am gleichen Tisch zu sitzen und mit dem Paul McCartney, bis sie dann aufgerufen worden sind und haben müssen führen auf die Bühne, den Preis entgegen auch für das beste Album. Und sie hat gesagt, sie sagt dann nachher mit The Who, mit Tommy, mit dem legendären Rockmusical unterwegs und das hat ihr Leben schlagartig verändert. I'm done now.
Well done.
You had a lot of duet partners also in your life, with a famous Swiss DJ, pop singer, our biggest pop star, and that's Chihuahua, DJ Bobo. What did you guys do in the studio? Was hast du mit dem DJ Bobo im Studio
Well,
gemacht?
DJ Bobo and I have done we've shared a few stages over the years, and he did an album full redoing some of his old songs, and he just asked me to do I Believe, and I love that song.
Maybe you know, but wisst ihr eigentlich, warum wir da sind? Do you know why you are here? Last year we had the pleasure to have Mr. Rick Astley with band on stage. Der Rick Astley ist da gewesen, ist jemand da gewesen am Konzert jetzt schon. Wahnsinn! And he did such an amazing concert. And you guys are friends. Er hat gesagt, sie sind so befreundet zusammen. And it happened that he said the next morning nach dem Konzert hat er gesagt, you know what, Phil, I'm gonna call my good friend, really said that, I'm gonna call my good friend Kim Wilde. I know her, ich kenne sie, auch schon gehört. And I'm gonna tell her she has to come and play the festival. That's what he said. He said, come on! Niemals macht er das. And I think 2 days later your lovely agent from Germany called and said, we do it. And that's the way it happened. And when
We love Rick Astley.
and now
He is one of the nicest men in show business that we've worked with. He's just He's just a totally adorable man.
Das stimmt. And his voice is still, I mean, like you, amazing.
And still singing as well as ever, and just a beautiful man. Yeah.
Now, I asked Rick, I'm going to ask you the same thing again, but first I want to show you what I asked Rick. I asked Rick, I'm going to show you. Kann ich fragen, Rick, was ist dein eindrucksvollste Erlebnis in deiner Karriere? What was the most impressive moment that you ever had in your career? And that's what he said. Listen carefully. What was the most exciting experience that you just pops up in your mind when you say, in my musical career, that was the best and emotional moment I had? What was that?
It was the first time I got in the jacuzzi with Kim Wilde.
I'm going to play it again, wait a second.
What was the most exciting experience that just pops up in your mind when you say, in my musical career, that was the best and emotional moment I had? What was that? It was the first time I got in the jacuzzi with Kim Wilde.
Like a rat up a drain pipe.
Now it's the time to answer back because we're going to send him this video. Jetzt hast du die Gelegenheit, but this was on YouTube for a whole year, right? Now we have time to pay it back. Jetzt kannst du es zurückzahlen. The time is all yours, Kim.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's right. The jacuzzi thing was great. I mean, you know, I'm a married woman. We're good friends. It's your minds that are wrong. It was an innocent jacuzzi moment.
Es ist so schön gewesen. Sie ist ja eine verheiratete Frau und das ist mit guten Freunden ist das ganz etwas anderes.
I think.
Now, Kim, when was it?
What even was it?
You were too young. Du bist viel zu jung gewesen eigentlich. It was not for your years. I'm going to ask you the same question. Also, I want to know, all of you, when you think back and you did so many things, there's so viele schöne Sachen gemacht, so many beautiful things. What was the most memorable moment in your music career that pops? Don't say you were in jacuzzi with Rick Astley. Was ist der eindrucksvollste Moment gewesen?
Well, let's start with Ricky Wilde.
Okay, for me, the most... I'll never ever forget hearing Kids in America on the radio for the first time. And I remember exactly where I was, how I felt, and it's like it had happened half an hour ago. It was just crazy, and just it was the culmination of all my dreams right at that second. And after that, everything was just great fun. But
Also,
it was a lot of fun. But that moment for me was, I just knew that we'd cracked it at that point. And that was for me the...
Also der schönste Moment war der, als wir das erste Mal Kids in America am Radio gehört haben. Das ist ein Moment, der wahrscheinlich über allem gestanden ist, wo er einfach gemerkt hat, wow, das ist wirklich ein ganz magischer Moment und ich glaube, das ist bis jetzt immer noch das eindrucksvollste Erlebnis. I got goosebumps, man. Ich habe wirklich Hühnerhaut. Does it still happen nowadays if you drive in a car and you hear your song? It happens. Do you switch off or you sing, we're kids in America? Also passiert es dir, dass du im Auto
Even now it's a thrill to hear your record on the radio, but the first time was just crazy.
Das erste Mal war wunderbar gewesen. Okay. Maybe for you, I mean 6 years on stage with those two crazy people. What was a nice moment you had on stage? Was ist für dich in den letzten 6 Jahren ein besonderer Moment auf der Bühne gewesen?
Mine was in Austria about 3 years ago.
Vor 3 Jahren in Österreich.
And we had a gig in front of about 80,000 people. It was
18.000 Leute haben es
one
gespielt.
of the biggest gigs I've ever done. And so we did our gig and it was really great and it was amazing. Came off stage and then Billy Idol was on after us.
Sie hat das Konzert fertig gespielt, geht hinter die Bühne und dann steht der Billy Idol dort.
So I'm side of stage going mental for the whole thing, like dancing, going absolutely crazy. And his guitarist comes to the side of the stage and said, "You're going to come on with me for the last song."
Also sie hat tanzt während dem Konzert wie ich heute Backstage und dann ist der Gitarrist von Billy Idol und hat gesagt, komm doch mit uns auf die Bühne.
So his guitarist brings me on stage for Moni Moni, I think it was.
Für den Song Moni Moni hat der Gitarrist ihn dann auf die Bühne geholt.
And I did BVs for Billy Idol on Moni Moni in front of 80,000 people. It was amazing.
Backing Vocals gesungen von 18.000 Leuten.
So can I just clarify something? So after all the years that you've been with Kim, your highlight was one song with Billy Idol.
Yep.
Also nach all diesen Jahren, wo sie mit ihnen beiden auf der Bühne ist ihr Highlight ein Song mit Billy Idol gewesen. Well?
It's fine, it's forgotten. It's all forgotten.
Now Kim, it's your turn.
Well, you know what? Very recently, I mean, I've had a long career, 30 years, and a lot of amazing things have happened, and I've met a lot of incredible people, and I even managed to get married and have children and do something really normal, which is actually the most beautiful part of my life. But having said that, standing next to Alice Cooper on stage is really fucking great.
Also sie sagt, das wirkliche Highlight, etwas ganz Normales ist, sie hat geheiratet, sie hat Kinder bekommen und das ist eigentlich das, was zählt im Leben, aber musikalisch sei es jetzt wirklich das mit Alice Cooper zusammen auf der Bühne zu stehen. When you were younger, I mean, you grew up with all the social media, right? Als ihr noch jung waren, es kein Facebook, kein YouTube, kein MySpace. Nowadays we have YouTube, Facebook, the whole thing changed. So what do you do for your fans? You know how many likes you have on your Facebook currently, today, at 5 o'clock? I'm going to show you. You have, at the moment, 227,000 fans. And after this show, it's going to be 900 more, that's for sure.
Well, you know, that's so amazing. That is amazing, really. It is. The thing I do a lot and I really enjoy, even though there's some, you know, not great moments on it, but I do enjoy Twitter. I like it. I like that instant connection with people.
Sie ist sehr gerne auf Twitter, weil man kann sehr direkt mit den Leuten verbunden sein.
It's good.
Oh, es ist irrsinnig. Great. Okay, so guys, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you took the time and come here and talk with me, take a place in this beautiful living room for the next 150 years. Your songs are going to last forever, I know that, even when you're in the sky, but I wish you all the best and that you still make people happy with your music, with your great spirit, and may the new generation become stars like you are. And that's your applause. Kim Wilde!